Every year, he must prove his dominance and earn the right to mate. This
So, welcome to the premiere pilot episode of Buffalo vs. Dragons. I'm Dave Dragon Schwartz. This is my co-host, Big Benny B to Buffalo. And over the next 13 episodes for our Season 1, we're going to be kind of highlighting some of the finer points of gaming in Buffalo.
Are you sure you can handle it all in Season 1?
Probably not. So hopefully if we started with a good fan base, we'll get Season 2 going and everything else. So, what are we going to be talking about? Yeah, right. So what are we going to be talking about? We're going to be doing LARPing, collective card games, any kind of conventions.
Video gaming.
Video gaming, very good. And all kinds of fun stuff. And if you guys ever want to see something on the show or us to interview somebody, because we're going to be doing a lot of interviewing and whatnot, please send all your requests to the email now appearing at the screen right here. And we'll take your viewer mail. So, what are we going to talk about first today, Dan?
I think we should get into Larps as a opening thing, or if you want, we can do the whole getting into the beginning of geekdom, sort of.
Well, I think that for most gamers, it all started somewhere. I know for me personally, my first real big experience with gaming was, in fact, the Larps with large groups. I mean, I've done some tabletop every now and again. But LARPing, I think, was like that first real big taste of like really huge volume gaming for me.
Yeah, I was a LARPer maybe about 5 years before I knew what a LARPer was. I played in those famous foam sword smacking, all that. Yeah, but I got into LARP maybe about 8 years ago, where I was a full-on LARPer.
Make me feel old. I got into LARPing in '97.
Ancient.
Like a Methuselah. Oh my god. So, I don't know, what do you like about LARPing most?
I like to perform. I have a character, I play it, I keep as close to that character while still putting in a little bit of myself. I mean, every character...
A little bit of yourself?
Yeah, there's very few times I can say a little bit of me, but...
I would say.
Yeah, every character has that hint of my normal personality in it.
Normal?
Yeah, good point.
I was about to say, you can't LARP and be completely normal.
We're all here because we're not all there.
Exactly. Where'd you start LARPing at? Because I know I started at UB. I think probably the same thing for you.
Well, again, I had that foam sword thing. That was, just an open field in East Aurora that we used for our foam thing. But I was sort of forced into a LARP, here we go! Right into one at UB, and that's where I've stuck since.
It's like, take a deep breath. This will only hurt for a minute. Yeah, I started actually at a UBCon back in '97, where I played a La Sombra Seneschal, which was really fun because my whole purpose in life was to, or unlife as it were, it was to kill the Great Bishop, which I kind of tried to do and didn't quite get there because he was busy limping around spreading plague to everybody. And the life, if I remember correctly, it ended with him running for the hills like Howard. Like bastard.
Yeah, my first character, I'll love him to the day, was a Bruja, a musclehead, basically. Have you ever seen the movie Bloodsport?
I don't think so, no.
It's a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Oh, wait, yeah.
The Comite and all that.
Yeah.
And my character was known as Brick. And Brick, if you watch the movie, they do that death touch thing where he breaks the bottom brick out of the stack.
Right.
Well, his buddy was the big burly, and he would punch the bricks, and the bottom one would still be alive. And they'd say, not death touch. Well, neither is this. And he'd break the brick over his head. Well, that was what my character was. He was a person to just...
break stuff over your head?
He was not the smartest, but he was damn powerful.
So I thought you were playing something not like yourself. Alright, so, yeah, my first character was actually a Malkavian clan of crazy people.
So you played yourself?
Exactly. And his name was Max Rebo, for all of you Star Wars fans out there. And he was so insane that the other Malkavians kicked him out of the clan because they had to actually have sanity for about 1 minute to make the decision to throw me out. and thus he was thrown out. And then he was a clanless, crazy person, and tried to kill everybody, all the higher-ranking people in Buffalo, alphabetically by name, not clan. Apparently, that was like a topic for like 10 years after he left. Like people were still wondering, like, was he going to kill everybody by name, by clan, or by their actual name? I was going by actual name because the first clan I had to kill would be Bruja, and as you just said, no.
Yeah, you don't want to go up against the Muscleheads first.
No, and then I stopped LARPing for a while. Life just kind of got in the way, and then I restarted LARPing at this game called Red Moon, which was run by, if I remember correctly, Nikki Lewandowski and Steve Hoffman, two wonderful people in the gaming community as far as I'm concerned. And it was interesting because I came in as a Tremere, the blood mages.
Yeah.
And I based him completely off of Emperor Palpatine. He had the lightning, he had the telekinesis, the foresight with his telepathy, and I even had this one discipline called Path of Conjuring, which lets me create things. So I would create a sword, channel my electricity into it, and I'd actually have a lightsaber, which did ag, which was pretty nice and aggravated damage. So. And I played him for like 2-3 years, and he made it all the way to the top. He became Primogen really quickly. Then he became a Seneschal, and that's kind of where I wanted to stop, because once you get to the top, there's only one way you can go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he became Prince, and I was like, shoot.
Nobody wants that job nowadays.
I'm still gonna die. This is gonna be ugly, and sure enough, he ended up screwing up. And for those who know Vampire, Tremere have a pyramid structure. And the top of the pyramid is the Council of Seven, and I was sent back to them, and they obliterated me because I became a demonic infernalist. Yay!
Yeah, I was actually part of Red Moon myself, and I got a lot of the more random, like, what the heck am I doing kind of moments. My character ended up being in the sewers. I was a Nosferatu, a sewer dweller, and we had to fight these creatures that had appeared in the sewers. And sure enough, I walked through the hallway getting to my scene, and I tell the ST, if I happen to run into 4 anthropomorphic turtles with neon-colored headbands, I'm walking out. 5 minutes later, you see me out the door with my head down like, oh.
Yeah, that happens. What was your favorite part about LARPing?
I like the political, the sort of stab your partner in the back, but still, you need them for somehow. You can't do it alone.
See, that was one thing I never liked about LARPing, is like everything is so damn political. Me, like, I always have been versus monsters, just gonna go out and kill people. Like, how all this setting up stuff and political and influence, give me some raw power and I will turn you into dust. Like,
that's the Sabbat game.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of like why I like Red Moon is because, the story there was no Sabbat. Everybody was just this one conglomeration of death.
Yeah.
And, I did do a little political stuff, but for the most part, I just wanted to go in there and kill things.
Yeah. I was like that too. I was the, that's probably my worst experience for a first-time character was, I was in a clan that there was nobody else in, and they just plunged me right into the character. I was a Nosferatu with one eye, and I ended up selling the sewers, their home, to the rich Ventru, which are the millionaires of vampires, without even knowing.
You sold the sewers. You're a jerk.
Yeah. It cheated me out of a couple of political things, too. I was never able to make Primogen there.
What do you think about, like, what some negatives the LARPers get? I mean, like, I've been with so many LARPs, and there's always drama, and there's always, like, people who take it too seriously. If your character dies, they start crying about it. I mean, I loved my character, but when he died, I understood that it was his time to go. I mean, I personally, wanted him to die because, like, it just got to the point where, like, playing him wasn't fun anymore because he just achieved everything, and he was all this powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Nobody could kill him. I mean, I was a Tremere with Aegis, for crikin's sakes. Like, you could, like, drop a building on me, willpower, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And it gets to that point where it's not fun anymore. So, I mean, like, if my character died, fine, but, like, I played in games with people who, like, their character dies, and they're like, I mean, I understand you get attached to them, but, I mean, it is a game. Like, do you see a lot of that, or...?
It's not so much anymore because people are literally looking to kill other characters a lot lately. I mean, I just had a 6-7 year Tremere character like yours that was killed by a 2-month character. And I know you want to tease me about that. I know
That's embarrassing, dude.
Especially.
But kudos to the 2-month character.
Yeah, I mean, it was. What you gonna do? I mean, I lost everything I had going for me,
right?
And it's taken me a while to build that back up. But hey, my biggest problem is players that do what is known as metagaming. Taking information that they might hear out of their character and putting it into their character. Like, oh, this is going to happen. I know it's going to happen. So I'm going to build this up before it happens.
Yeah.
And they do, and they're like, you all didn't know about this. I did. And there's 1 or 2 people that are like that, but I don't know. Not everybody's like that.
Yeah. I'm happy to say that in most of the games I played, Red Moon, Dark Jyhad when it used to be Buff Larp, and I think those were the 2 big ones that I played in. But most of the time, good solid players in Buffalo, I think. I mean, just a good group of people. I mean, yeah, occasionally some stuff happens, but I mean, you know, we're gamers, we're eccentric.
We get over it.
Yeah, we get over it. So, I mean, as long as everyone's having fun, I guess is the point.
Yeah. I also love the costuming ideas and that. I mean, I'm not one for a costume. I'll do something as simple as my sunglasses here, and I'll just pop them on and be, hey, I'm a cool biker dude. Where some of my friends, I think 2 in particular, there's one that killed me actually, spend like an hour on their costume before.
The best costume I ever had, and we'll put a picture up on this, is when I was Damon Giles, I had these gauntlets that I made.
Oh,
and
yeah,
I painted them and whatnot, and actually I gave them to the ST of the game once he died, because Steve Hoffman, God bless him, he was the one who told me, you need to play a Tremere. I promise you 2 things. 1, and this is for you, Steve, 1, you're going to have a good time. 2, you're going to get totally screwed over. The man delivered on his promise, and I respect that. Boy, did I get screwed over in the end, but I had a lot of fun getting there. But the day I became Prince, that morning I was at a wedding.
Please tell me you didn't bring those with you.
My best friend's sister, she got married. One of my dearest friends, she got married, and I was still in my tux because I was an usher at the wedding. So when I became Prince, I came to LARP in a tux. With these gauntlets. So like I was like the best dressed vampire of the night, and it looked so ridiculous. Like I'm sitting here and I'm kind of like, I had this picture where I'm kind of like this, and again I'll try to throw it up if I can in the show, of me with these gauntlets and in a like a $100 tuxedo from a wedding I was just at. It was just like one of the best moments I had. I mean, and most, you know, Tremere don't usually wear tuxedos. They're more of the creepy robe type people, but it was still funny.
Yeah, and you were mentioning Hoffman got you into that. He's the one that got me into my Tremere. In fact, I was his apprentice. So
the moral of this story is Steve Hoffman, don't listen to him. The man will get you killed. Yes, you're going to have fun, but damn it, he'll get you killed.
Especially if he mentions Tremere and apprentice.
Yeah, run.
Hey, I lasted 6 years. Had some great powers, but yeah. I had to fix every bridge he burned along his run.
Yep. So I mean that's pretty much LARPing in a nutshell. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to head over to UB where Dark Jyhad's going on, and we're going to talk with the head ST of Dark Jyhad, the guy who's been pretty much running LARPs for longer than anybody as far as I know. He was in the first LARP that I ever played in. He got me into LARPing. He's a great guy. You know, he's done some really great things with LARPing over the years, and we're going to go talk to him, Ed Reinhardt. So, Ben, I think this is a good way to start the first show. We're going to head over to UB. We're going to talk to Ed for a little bit, and before we head over to UB, how about some drone cam footage? We are here at UB, at Baldy Hall, at Open Gaming, where all the LARPs are now played, and we are here with Ed Reinhardt, the originator of LARPs in Buffalo, as far as I'm concerned. You're the one who got me into LARPing back in '97, and I think you were doing LARPing even before then.
Oh yeah.
So, let's see. First question. So, what way did you actually start running the LARP that you run now?
Dark Jyhad, we started back in '96. The LARP rules had only been out for about 2 years. We ran a few one-shots at the cons and decided that we knew the rules well enough and it was time to take the next step.
Fair enough. I believe, the first time I played was '97, I think, actually, at a con. So, I was almost there at the beginning.
Yeah. And then we continued to run one-shots at the con for a little while more.
So what kind of, what got you wanting to start running this game that, pretty much turned into, this huge community?
Well, it's, couldn't see that from, '96. It was just a love of the game, and it was something very new, and it was just kind of it seemed like it was taking the next step for kind of tabletop gaming.
Right.
It's just to actually get up from the table and instead of saying my character does this, it's just to do it.
To actually do it, right? Right. I'm trying to think. Because I've LARPed with you for a while, and you've been both storyteller, narrator. We played in LARPs together, where you weren't the story; you were just a regular player. So, looking at all of that, what do you think your personal favorite character was? Like the one that you personally played?
One that I played?
Yeah.
Well, I think there's. I have Ezekiel, which was a Semeti that I played for about 2.5 years.
Okay.
For one of the Masquerade. The name of the game was Masquerade.
Okay. Was that a local game or
It was
something?
Masquerade 2.0 when they kind of reset. Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember who ran that one?
Yeah, I know it was Bill Pichakowski.
Okay.
And I'm probably slandering his last name.
We apologize, Bill.
Slaughtering, but it was Bill, and it escapes me who else was involved then.
What about
It was too long ago.
What about player characters? Like characters that you've seen people play? Like, are there any characters that stand out? Like over the years, like you just remember you interacted with that character and you just had such a great time with that character?
Well, yeah, I think probably the one that comes most to mind is probably Vigo. It was a player who played a caitiff named Vigo, and we noticed that over the course of about he was around for a while. The character was around for about 2 years. And we realized that the city was pretty much treating him treating the caitiff like they would any other clan. So we started a storyline where caitiffs started coming to Buffalo in mass, kind of treating Buffalo like the promised land, where a caitiff is treated like any other,
like where the clan list is now a clan.
Normal kindred.
Nice.
And they were starting to. At least the other players were starting to refer to them as Clan Vigo.
Nice.
Almost kind of like a kind of riff on the Panders, where you had Joseph Pander. And,
yeah, I remember that.
So you have the Sabat caitiff known as Panders, so they were kind of building towards their own Vigos.
Cool. So, you've been running Dark Jyhad for many years now.
18 years
18 years. So, of those 18 years and everything that you've done, what's the hardest thing about running a LARP? Because there's so much that goes into it. But for you personally, what's been the hardest thing to try to maintain while running a LARP, especially one that's gone as long as yours?
Well, I think if you're going to run a LARP, you really need a fairly thick skin. Just like any other creative endeavor, you are criticized quite a bit. And yeah. You have to deal with with irate players, and sometimes things get heated, and people kind of then start to people who don't like the game, they might talk behind your back and just criticize what you're doing. You kind of put yourself out there,
right,
creatively, and it's very personal. So it's just being able to take the criticism.
Fair enough. Yeah, drama in LARP, it's like no matter how hard you try to keep it out, it somehow gets in.
I think that with any social,
Yeah.
anything that humans do socially, you're gonna find that happen. Yeah.
So then going on the flip side, there's the hardest thing about running a LARP. What about what's the thing you enjoy most? Like your favorite thing about running a LARP? Because I mean, it's supposed to be fun, I would assume.
Yes, yeah. No, it's setting up a shared universe and just then setting up an environment in a world where your friends can come and just and have fun and be able to kind of entertain them and just kind of the whole shared experiences.
I remember when I joined your LARP, the thing that I enjoyed most was I played a character. It was given to me. Because it was for a con, so they had pre-gens, and I remember the character I played was like the number 2 guy in the city, and my backstory was you have to go kill the guy in charge, and I was just like, I get to be a jerk, this is going to be awesome. So it's nice too that I've always liked that you can step out of who you are and totally dive into it, so that's great. What do you like better? Do you like playing in a LARP better or running a LARP better? Be honest.
No, they both have their it's two different things. I mean, I think I enjoy both of them equally. If I were forced to choose, I don't know if I could do it.
Fair enough. Because I've never run a LARP, and I can only imagine how hard it would be. I kind of like just being responsible for my own player. So I have a lot of respect for everything that you've done. So, as somebody who has, done the LARPs and played and everything, what do you think you need to be a successful character? Like what do you think are some core requirements to be a successful LARPer? Because I've seen people LARP and they do great, and I've seen people LARP and it's like, why are you here?
No, absolutely. I guess it may not be the high road thing to say, but my advice is always to kind of, you have to twink. You have to find a specialty for your character. Especially when you come into a long-running game, there are already characters there doing jobs that you want to come in and do and get involved with plot lines.
Right.
So if you can find something that no other character in the game can do, that is your easy in to get involved with plots.
So in other words, it's kind of like you need to find that unique characteristic that might not be in the game and kind of insert it in there.
Right. If you're going to make a balanced character like you would find in novels and TVs, it's you're a jack of all trades, master of none, and you're not there to help other characters, and especially in a vampire game. I mean, the manipulation is the people in charge want to find other characters who can kind of serve them, or at least kind of get the things done that they need to be done.
Yeah, that was a lesson I remember learning when I was playing in Red Moon, and I brought in a fresh new Tremere. And power-wise, he wasn't really that great, but he had one singular skill, which was getting people to do things for him. And within like 3 months, I was primaging because I got the other primaging, kicked out of the city, which sadly came back to bite me in the ass later. But,
Yeah.
So where do you get your ideas from? Because, I mean, keeping the plot new and fresh, especially, again, you've been running the LARP 18 years, you've got to keep it interesting, you don't want it to be stale. What's your muse? Where do you get your inspiration from?
It's just from everywhere, just pulling in sources from comic books, TVs, movies, video games. It's I don't know who the quote is attributed to, but it's that all the stories that can be told have been told. So it's just a matter of just kind of either putting a new spin on it or just finding something unique that you haven't noticed anybody else do. But it's just dumping it all into my head and just let it kind of regurgitate and.
And you have people who help you run the LARP, I assume, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like story assistant, SDs and whatnot?
Yeah.
Who are currently helping you right now?
Right now, there's Steve Hoffman, and a friend, and Ryan, John Averill are the current staff for the game.
Cool, great. And then lastly, I always like to ask this question because it's just a fun question. Because LARPing, you're in a world of make believe. You know, you're exhibiting things that you would not normally able to do. Like for me personally, my favorite character was a Tremere called Damon Giles, who was pretty much the embodiment of the Emperor from Star Wars, and he could do the lightning stuff, and that was always my favorite power of his. So, since you pretty much have probably played it all, seen it all, done it all, what I guess would be that one vampiric power that if you could have, what would it be?
Well, I think, there's the immortality. For one, I guess that's an inherent thing for
that's
vampires.
pretty much given.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think maybe, it could be even just obfuscate, just being able to make yourself fairly invisible. Or make yourself look like anyone else.
So that mastery of disguise / spying invisibility thing.
Yeah, I think it's just got the most applications to everyday life.
That is true. That is very true, especially when you get up to that third tier with the mask of 1,000 faces there. It's like, you see anybody who looks like this? Well,
go anywhere, be anybody.
Right? Well, you've been doing this 18 years, and this question wasn't prompted, so I'm gonna kind of ambush you now with this question. But how much longer do you think you've got it in you? Like, you looking to do this for another 18 years if you can? You looking to pass the torch anytime soon?
For running the game, I don't know. It's just a matter of going until I'm not having fun anymore. It's for playing. I envision myself playing for many years. It's my hobby. I mean, it's just fun. It's fun. It's just fantastic. Yeah, just to kind of lose yourself and play with friends too.
Well, I will definitely say that you were, for me personally, the one who got me into LARPing and actually really exposed me to the live-action vampire world. So, I don't think I'd still be doing the gaming stuff that I'm doing now if you hadn't brought me into that community. So I thank you for that.
Well, thank you.
And I'm sure you've done it over 18 years. You've done it for a lot of people who've come and gone, still come back every now and again. So I thank you for everything you've done for the last 18 years, and hopefully you will continue to do, be a part of the gaming community.
I know there are people married who met at my game.
Really? By any chance, is your wife playing this game?
Well, yes, she does. Yeah, that's.
Girls do game, people. It is a true thing.
It's pretty
you
much
found happiness.
I met her here at UB, just gaming through the Larps. That's what brought her to campus. That's how I met her.
Single men. This man can help you. So when's your Larps? So people who are watching know if they're ever interested in coming.
Oh sure, we run the second Saturday of every month here at the University of Buffalo in Baldy Hall. You can send us a email ahead of time. It's bufflarpsts@gmail.com. I think that may be right.
Okay.
For some reason, I'm not too sure. I'll let you know if it's different.
All right.
You can flash it on the screen.
We'll flash it on the screen, or you can email the show, and we'll get you in contact with Ed. So Ed, thanks again for being our first official guest on Buffalo vs. Dragons. Hopefully we'll have you back again. We wish you nothing but great success.
It's an honor. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.